Mic check, 1, 2. Hear me okay?
Check 1, 2.
All right, I think we're good. And they said we are live, so mic number 4 coming up a little bit there and a little bit there. All right, folks, good afternoon. Welcome to St. Augustine, Florida. We're on the campus of Flagler College. This is the Clark Family Court. Tonight's Peach Belt action features the Cougars of Columbus State against the home team Saints from Flagler College. I'm John Phillips along with Ivan Kelly, ready to bring you all the action. Starters for Flagler are being introduced down on the court. While they finish those up, let's meet the starters for Columbus State. 5 starters for Columbus State. It'll be Jasmine Ray Stevens, a 6'1 senior from Atlanta, 4.5 points per game for the senior Stevens. Also starting number 4, Kristen Gaucher, a 5'3 senior out of Conyers, Georgia, 6.2 points per game. Latia Reeves, a junior, 5'11 out of Noonan, Georgia, 14.5 points per game for Latia Reeves. And the final 2, both are graduate students. Number 23, Braylon Snipes, the leading scorer at 15 points per game out of Columbus, Georgia. And then finally, Olana Rawls, a 5'9 grad student at 10.9 points per game. Those are your starters for Coach Matt Hauser in his 5th season at Columbus State. For the home team Saints, starting lineup, we'll have Mac and Mac in the backcourt. Destiny McClendon, a 5'10 senior from Greensboro, Georgia, joined by Sherelle McCormick, a 5'10 senior from North Lauderdale, both in double figures. Also in the starting lineup, Sayla Reddick, a 5'8 senior out of Jacksonville. Carly Grimm will play inside, and Abby Smith, the freshman from Boerne, Texas, will get the start as well. Saints win the opening tap and have first possession here in the front court. A drive for Reddick and a kick out. Post feed in, touch over to Smith in the corner. Abby's 3 is a little short. Rebound picked up by Columbus State. Cougars will race front court. Get into their half-court set. Saints playing straight man-to-man. Post feed inside, double teamed briefly, and the dribble continues all the way through. Work the perimeter around. Top of the circle, 3 ball is off the mark, no good. Grimm and Reddick both corral the rebound briefly. Reddick ends up with it, dishes it off as the Saints are in the front court. Over to McCormick, left side. She'll drive and kick. Off to Sayla Reddick. Jump stop and try to feed Carly Grimm, and her runner in the paint is no good. Columbus State comes out with it. They're going to try to go fast break. They do, and they get denied. Grimm rebounds. Good defense by Sherelle McCormick. Still scoreless, a little over a minute in. McCormick, a coast-to-coast runner, and gets the friendly roll. Thought it was going to be a little too strong, but it hung on the rim, and the Saints are on the board. Nice crossover and runner in the paint as McCormick lost her footing, and we are tied at 2 apiece. Back front court, Reddick from McCormick. Denied with heavy ball pressure there by the Cougars. Screen from Grimm. Go behind it for a pull-up from 17. In and out, no good for McClendon. And the Cougars another rebound. They're going to race the ball front court and go coast to coast. Nobody ever stopped the basketball. That's Latia Reeves who goes coast to coast. She got the rebound away from Carly Grimm and just kept right on going. Drive in by the Saints and a kick to Smith. Corner 3. Off the heel of the rim, no good. Rebound Cougars. They've done a nice job boxing out so far. A little bit of out-of-control runner that time by the Cougars, but saved inbounds. Reeves, a runner across the court, is no good, but a foul. I think they're going to get Grimm on the reach-in. And it's going to be 2 shots here for Latia Reeves.
Columbus certainly seems to be wanting to push the ball and speed up the tempo of the game.
Saints will go to the bench for the first time. Jessica Dowdy checked in, and she brought Lainey Norica with her. First free throw is off the mark for Reeves.
Latia Reeves at the foul line for the Cougars.
second free throw is good for Reeves. She's 90% on the year, so 1 out of 2. Saints feel like they stole one there. Here's Dowdy under pressure, splits a double team, keeps right on going, looking for a helper. Finds one, but the ball's deflected, and going to get a foul called against the Cougars on that loose ball. I think they're going to get number 14, Zuzana Rudenko. She checked in at the last stoppage and picks up a quick foul. Rudenko out of Poland, 5'11" senior. Going after a loose ball and got there a split second late. Reddick to Norika in the high post. Now Dowdy back to Reddick. Pull up from about 15 is good for Selah Reddick. Back to a 1-point game, 5-4. Cougars still have the lead. Halem Adel with the basketball. Runner off the right side, no good. Abby Smith rebounds with Norika. And then back to McClendon. The Saints had numbers, just didn't have the right people in the right spots. Pull up from Reddick is no good. Long rebound comes to Abby Smith. Good hustle to chase it down. They'll reset it back to Reddick. Partial reset. They got about 12 on that reset on this possession. 3 ball on the way is going to come up short. Rebound picked up by the Cougars.
Columbus is switching everything guard to guard out front. Flagler could look for some 3-point opportunities off of that.
Runner off the right side, way too strong. Dowdy controls the rebound. Finds Reddick, and she's going to push. Splits 2 defenders, coast to coast and kick. Left side triple on the way. It's good. The Saints hit a 3 ball from Destiny McClendon and reclaim the lead.
And it's Flagler's turn to push the tempo.
Saints hustle back on defense, slow them down, force them into the half court. Another drive off the right side, partially blocked. Rebound fought for, still being fought for, and Dowdy will come out with it. She finds Reddick. Reddick goes back to Dowdy. Dowdy's going to take it across court. Another 3 on the way. This one is off the mark. Rebound picked up by the Cougars. They're going to push the tempo. Reeves coast to coast and got fouled. That'll slow down the fast break, but it will give them 2 shot opportunities. McClendon on the reach-in picks up the personal. And the Saints will have wholesale substitutions here. Bertolina checks in. She brings Marley Smith with her and brings Sherelle McCormick back to the floor.
Coach Mo Smith alertly recognizes this is an up-tempo game, so he wants to keep his players fresh and expect them to be substituting quite liberally through the game.
Reeves misses another free throw here on the front end. She's got 1 more coming. Saints lead at 7-5 pending this second free throw attempt. It is good to make it a 1-point game. Full court press here by the Cougars. Into Dowdy. Straight man-to-man. They're looking to double team when they get a chance. And good job beating the press. Bertolina clears the timeline, being guarded here by Farrell. Crossover, drive, and kick, but not enough on it. Picked off. Here come the Cougars the other way. Saints will hustle to get back and can't get there in time. And Halem Adel able to convert. McClendon to drive and kick. 3 ball off the heel again. Bertolina rebounds. Back out to McClendon. Into Marley Smith. Rips through, spin to the right, and didn't get enough on that one. Thought she was going to go off the backboard and came across the rim and missed it. And the Saints commit a foul trying to get after that loose ball on the floor.
But she did a great job of demanding the ball inside, coming in, posting strong, a nice spin move. She just didn't finish it.
Yeah, everything was great except the shot was just off the mark. As we're under 5 minutes to go here first quarter, that midway point of each quarter in women's basketball will give us a media timeout. Of course, that's different from the men that play 2 20-minute periods and take a dead ball media at 16, 12, 8, and 4. The women do it at the under 5, and that's where we are right now. 4:42 to be exact, first quarter. Columbus State leads it 8-7 over Flagler. Neither team shooting the ball real well here in the early stages, but a lot of that is due to the defense being played by both sides. Coming up 30 minutes after the conclusion of this game, we'll have the men between Columbus State and Flagler. Again, that one's 30 minutes after the conclusion of this game right here in St. Augustine. Start of a 3-game week here for the Saints. I guess technically it's a 6-game week, but 3 for the women, 3 for the men. This game was originally scheduled to be played a couple weeks back, and it was postponed due to a snowstorm. And yes, you heard that right. Here in the state of Florida, we had a snowstorm a couple weeks back that closed portions of I-10 and portions of I-75 as well. And of course, Columbus State and Columbus, Georgia had to travel south and then over here to the East Coast, and the travel was not safe that day. So this is a makeup cancellation.
Flagler extends its defense. They went over the top.
Reeves with the runner the other way. Good baseball pass by the Cougars. Reddick's going to take the ball all the way in and find it, drop it back. Floater in the paint, off the mark, unlucky. Thought we were going to get a 3-point play opportunity for Sherelle McCormick. Unfortunately, she'll just get 2 shots as the ball was a little too strong. And the foul does go on Sophia Williams, junior out of San Jose. Long way to travel to Columbus State from San Jose, California.
Well, Matt Hauser spent several years out in California.
Yep, exactly right. A couple years at Concordia there in Irvine, and then also at Azusa Pacific. So I'm sure there's probably a connection there.
And he coached AAU and some club teams there. And sometimes those old relationships pay off.
No doubt. It's a 1-point game as the Cougars take it inside for a runner that's no good. Saints rebound and look to reclaim the lead. Aspen Weeks with the basketball. Checked in at the last stoppage for Selah Reddick. Reddick off the screen from Marley Smith. Over to Bertolina. Skip pass coming back this way. And then touch pass to Weeks. And around the horn, Reddick. Back to Weeks. She's going to drive. Got a spot off the left side and lost the handle. And lost it out of bounds. A reach in to poke it away. She tried to regather it and touched it last out of bounds. Ends up in a turnover. Ball to the Cougars. Coach Mo to the bench. Marley Smith, Dane Bertolina check out. Get Abby Smith back in there. Also brings Destiny McClendon. 10-9 Cougars, under 4 to go first quarter. Drive off the left side, well defended by Selah Reddick. And then blocks the shot and gets the rebound. Can't do it better than that right there on the defensive side. Pull-up jumper on the way for the Saints. Unlucky bounce, but Reddick there to rebound. Kicks it out to Weeks. She'll reset it. Off to Reddick on a drive in, pump fake and kick. Extra pass to the corner. Here comes Weeks going baseline. Nice job. Used her body, stopped. Prevented the defender from coming through her and kissed it off the window. 11-10 as the Saints have reclaimed the lead. 3-ball right side for the Cougars is up and off the mark. Rebound to Weeks for the Saints. Needs a helper as she picked up her dribble. She'll find Reddick, and Reddick will push. Guarded here by Sophia Williams. Off to McCormick. Now back to Weeks. Drive and kick. Ball loose on the floor briefly, but Reddick's got it. She's got some space to drive. A little bit of an off-balance jumper is no good. Rebound Cougars. Picked up there by Olana Rawls. Open 3 from the near side. Off the heel, no good. Saints after the rebound and control it. Reddick going to go baseball pass, looking for Abby Smith. Catch and poked away and stolen. Back the other way is Snipes. Coast to coast runners good for Braylon Snipes.
Number 23.
Saints getting a little too aggressive and turning it over on multiple possessions in a row now. Cougars back the other way. Drive and drop for a 3. It's no good, but Snipes a rebound and got her shot blocked out of bounds. It'll stay with the Cougars.
Coming into the game, Columbus has forced 531 turnovers, which is remarkable. And they've got Flagler playing a little out of their rhythm and forcing a few early turnovers here today.
Yeah, 531 turnovers by their opponent. Little jumper in the paint is good for Latia Reeves.
Latia Reeves.
(14-11), Cougars by 3. Drive off the left side is up and good for Destiny McClendon. Back to a 1-point game.
That was a nice strong drive.
Pull-up jumper from the elbow for the Cougars is no good. Saints a little tentative going after the rebound. Allows the Cougars to chase it down, kick it out, and bury the triple. Alana Rawls.
Basket was good by number 24.
Biggest lead of the game, 17-13. Cougars by 4. Saints will work the perimeter. Reddick a spin to the baseline to a double team. Out to Abby Smith. Jumper from 8 feet, no good. Rebound loose on the floor, picked up by the Saints, and held ball. Possession arrow will favor the Cougars. So ball to Columbus State. Bertolina and Marley Smith return for Flagler. Again, Cougars by 4 with the basketball. 42.6 to go first quarter. Rudenko drops it back for Rawls. Rawls will bring it front court against McClendon. Step back, 3 ball. Off the mark, good box out. Rebound picked up by McCormick. Here come the Saints. Trying to chip away at this lead. McClendon right side, well defended, needs help. Off to Marley Smith. Tried it one out to Bertolina. Knocked out of bounds with 14.1. Shot clock is turned off, so the Saints don't need to be in a big hurry here. Adel checks in for the Cougars to play defense. Here's McClendon between the circles. Going to drive right. Back to Marley Smith. She rips through, goes down the paint for a floater. Too strong, but a foul, and she'll earn 2 free throws with 4.1 on the game clock.
Fouls on Olana Rawls. Stepping to the foul line for the
Foul
Saints
goes
is
on
number
Rawls. That's
14,
her first
Marley
personal.
Smith. She'll shoot 2.
And Marley Smith, 72% on the year. Will shoot a couple. Unlucky on the first, in and out. Trying to make it a 1-possession game with 4 seconds to go here in the first quarter. And she does. Saints need to play defense, make them touch the ball early, and then don't foul. In and out from about 35 feet, and the Saints dodge a bullet on that one. 17-14 will be our score here at the end of 1 quarter of basketball. 10 minutes in, Cougars 17, Saints 14. We'll be right back here in St. Augustine.
Culver's, welcome to delicious. Carrabba's, so close you can taste it. South State Bank, welcome to banking forward. And Chick-fil-A, eat more chicken.
Saints basketball coming out of the stoppage here. Bertolina going to drive down the paint and kick. Off to Reddick. She'll drive cross court, throw it to the corner. Shot clock at 12, still plenty of time. Back to Reddick, a drive, a lean, short, rebound, stick back, good for Marley Smith. Back to a 1-point game, 17-16. Adel drops it off to Williams, drive down the paint, and got to turn the corner on Bertolina. Got just enough space, and it's back to a 3-point lead.
That's a tough shot.
There's Reddick off the screen. She got some space to spin and kick. There's an open look from 3. Could it tie it up? It will. McCormick's triple on an assist from Sayla Reddick. 19 apiece. "17-foot jumper is off the mark. We got a whistle. Going to be a foul, I think, on the Saints here. Rebounding foul on Dane Bertolina. So they'll do the partial reset to 20. Ball will stay with the Cougars. Bertolina out for Dowdy.
Dane, who had that foot injury earlier in the season, looks like she's still playing her way into shape.
Long triple is up and good. Lataya Reeves knocks it home, takes it back to a 3-point game. McClendon off to Reddick. Reddick cross court, McCormick.
When Flagler drives there, look at Columbus. They've got 8 feet in the paint.
Multiple rebounds for the Saints. Marley Smith finally gets her return to go back up and through.
What a great effort by Marley.
Falling down as the ball went through. 22-21 in favor of the Cougars.
Columbus just jams the lane. To come
Left
out
hit.
of there with the rebound's amazing.
Another triple on the way is perfect for Reeves. She's taken a lot of three-pointers. She leads the team with 111 attempts, but just 21% on the year. And timeout called by Coach Mo Smith. Saints were tied up near the midcourt line and take a timeout to avoid the 5-second call. He asked for a 30-second timeout. I was talking about Lataya Reeves, 23 out of 111 on the year, just 21%. But she is a perfect 2 for 2 here in the last couple possessions. And the Cougars have taken advantage of those big triples to extend their lead. Ivan, you were talking about their collapsing defense, switching everything on the screens, and that has allowed the paint to get really jumbled up. It also allows the three-point shot to be open, and the Saints are going to have to take a little bit better advantage of that. They've done okay today shooting the three, but in order to win this game, I think we're going to need more of those long-distance opportunities for the Saints.
Absolutely. That help side just dives into the paint. So I think they're willing to give up the three and let you try to beat them with that.
Get our live stats to update here. Right now it says the score is 17-13, which we know is not correct. So there we go. And yeah, Saints are just 2 out of 6 right now from 3. One from McClendon and one from McCormick.
Well, actually, that's above their season average. Flagler's just shooting 26% from 3.
Good ball pressure here by the Cougars. Reddick off to Marley Smith. Back out. Open look from 3. Off the heel, no good. Long rebound, fought for, still being fought for, and lost out of bounds by Columbus State. Good hustle by both teams. Ultimately, Braylon Snipes touched it last, and the Saints will get the basketball back. The ball did go all the way into the backcourt. Therefore, the Saints get a full 30 on the reset.
Snapes is one of the 2 grad students for Columbus. She played previously at Shaw and at Kennesaw.
There's McClendon, a pull-up jumper, left it short. Rebound Cougars, they're going to look to push. Rawls goes all the way inside, and we got to reach.
And there's the other grad student.
Yeah, Rawls is...
She's in her 5th year at Columbus, which is just as long as Coach Hauser's been there, so they've been through the wars together. If anyone understands their system, it's her.
She'll trigger into Snipes, who immediately put up a 3. It's off the mark, but the Cougars rebound. Back over to Snipes off the left-hand side. She's going to drive baseline. Cut off by Aspen Weeks. Kicks it out for a 3. Too strong. Rebound to the Saints. Marley Smith rebounds and pushes. She'll go to Dowdy, right-hand side. Trail it back to Marley, who's going to drive and look for a helper. Back to Dowdy. She's going to drive right side. Runner is good for Jessica Dowdy. Nice strong take. She gave a pump fake to create some space and then drove off the right side and banked it home. Back to a 2-point game. Another 3 for the Cougars. Another bucket for Alana Rawls. Rawls has got 2 threes, just like Reeves. Back to a 5-point cushion. There's McClendon up high for Smith. Now Dowdy squares a 3 ball. Knocks it down. The left-hander's got 5 straight points for the Saints.
She had a nice drive a moment ago, but that 3-point shot, that's where she's a specialist.
There's a 3 for the Cougars, and it's good. Aaliyah Farrell.
That was a knuckleball, too. I don't think it made one full rotation before it got to the basket.
10 for 38 on the season for 26%, but didn't hesitate and buried it. Here's Marley Smith, got some space. Little jumper is good.
Nice post up.
Marley Smith with a nice touch on that jump shot.
Back to a 1-possession game at the 5:14 mark, 31-28. Cougars by 3.
Columbus running an open set, all 5 players on the perimeter.
Here's Rawls, far side, penetrate and pitch. Drops it off here for Farrell. Back out high, 3 ball is off the mark, no good. Long rebound to the Cougars. Off to Rawls, who will drive and get fouled. Alana Rawls, almost 11 points per game and 6.3 rebounds. Leads the team in rebounding and 3rd highest in scoring, one of 3 players in double figures. And she's got 2 shots coming. Couple of subs for the Saints. Emerson Coots checks in for the first time today, and she will bring Abby Smith with her. First free throw, no good. Rawls has got a second one. She does make the second. And Reddick in for Dowdy. Kind of surprised they took Dowdy out. She had scored 5 straight in her first 3-pointer of the game. Thought she might have the hot hand for a little bit. Sometimes you ride the wave. Reddick will go to the point guard spot. Drop it back for Abby Smith. And Smith gets tripped. Inadvertent trip there by Aaliyah Farrell. Non-shooting foul, and just the first on the Cougars here in the second quarter. So Saints ball. Looking for Reddick, can't find her. Into Marley Smith instead. Marley drops for Coots. Back to Smith. Splits a double team, takes it off the window and scores it.
Wow.
Nice move by Marley Smith.
She turned baseline, thought she had the drop step. Found a Columbus defender and stepped right in between them and still scored.
Sophia Williams races it coast to coast and scores quickly for the Cougars. Reddick, a driving kick for Abby Smith. Pump fake, man flies by. Drops it back out to Reddick. There's Abby, open for three. Off the mark, unlucky that time. Rebound picked up by Rawls. Quickly ahead of the pack, she'll throw it to Farrell. Pull-up jumper from 15. Off the heel, no good. Rebound fought for and put back up by the Cougars, no good. This time Saints rebound. That's Aspen Weeks with it. Down 4 with the basketball. Here comes Flagler. Weeks all the way in for a floater, that's good. Nice body control to not charge into the Cougar defender. And the Cougars go coast to coast but can't finish. Reddick rebounds. Here come the Saints trying to tie it up. Reddick for Weeks. Crossover, got space, takes it in, floats it up, left it short. Rawls ahead of the pack looking for Reeves. Into Abby Smith. Runner is good. Reeves did a good job using her body to shield and not allow Abby Smith to block that shot.
She got 18 points already.
Back to a 4-point lead for the Cougars. Marley Smith drops for Coots. Coots a triple. Left it very short. Abby Smith rebounds, puts it back up, no good. Rebound to the Cougars. They split a double team in the backcourt. Kick it left wing. 3-point attempt, no good. Picked up by Sayla Reddick. Saints look a little winded right now. They're going to slow it down. Down 4 at the 2:22 mark of the first half. There's Marley Smith patiently looking for a helper. She's going to drive in and kick out to Reddick. Cross court. Corner to Coots. Shot clock on 5. Out to Marley Smith. Turnaround from 18 is an air ball. Rebound to the Cougars coming the other way. Drop it off cross court. Trail it back to the wing for 3.
She's
Perfect.
feeling it.
Lataya Reeves. She's got 21 here in the first half. Comes in averaging 14 and a half, but that's for a full game. She's got 21 in the first half. And the Saints turn it over. Unlucky right there. Emerson Coots dribbled the ball off her foot. And it caromed to the right and took it into the backcourt. An unforced error that time. That's an over and back violation. Biggest lead of the ball game so far, 39-32. Cougars by 7. Saints need to dig in here. Can't let this one go to double figures here in the first half.
Coach Hauser calls out his play here.
It's been a 1 or maybe a 2-possession game almost the entire first half. Right now it's 7 points. Inside to a double team. Well defended by the Saints. Kicked out. Off to Reeves. Shot clock on 10. A drive off the right side. Runner is too strong. Rebound, Dane Bertolina. She's got McCormick to the right. Drive, float, rattle, no good. Stick back, Coots, also no good. Ball loose on the floor and a foul going to go on Dowdy. Saints got unlucky in there. Both Coots and McCormick missed shots from inside about 5 feet. Now with 55 seconds to go in the half, Saints are still down 7 and the Cougars have the basketball once again. No fouls to give for Flagler. They've committed 4. Step back 3 ball. Off the heel, no good. Rebound for the Cougars. Back up and good inside there for Rudenko. Bertolina for Dowdy. Out to Coots. And the Saints turned it over. Coots tried to throw it to Bertolina and not on the same page there. And another unforced error. And with 30.9 to go, Saints are on the verge of going down double figures.
We'll see if Columbus holds it for one shot or if they just take the first open look.
0.9 of a second difference, so they certainly could hold it if they choose to do so. Early in the possession, it looks like what they're going to do, but we'll wait and see. Out high, Dowdy provides the defense against Gaucher with 11, with 10. Kick it back out. Top of the circle, 3. Off the mark, no good. Long rebound picked up by Adel. Floater off the right side, no good. Another rebound. Stick back is late. It won't matter anyway because it rimmed out, but it would not have counted. That ball did not get out of her hands before the red light was displayed. And the Cougars will have to be content with a 9-point cushion. 41-32 is our score. Cougars 41, Saints 32. Columbus State leads it by 9. We're at the half here in St. Augustine. We'll take a timeout. I'll be right back in just a little bit here on the Peach Belt Digital Network.
How do you make history? In St. Augustine, Florida, Flagler College stands as a beacon where the lion-hearted can forge new paths. Here, your courage finds its name, and ambition finds its home. Inspired by the visionary Henry Flagler, you don't just learn, you create, innovate, and find where you truly belong. So how do you make history? It starts with you, right here. Flagler College, where history begins.
Saints Pep Band bringing us back to start the second half here in St. Augustine.
Let's see if the halftime talk has figured out some way to slow down Reeves.
Saints go with Jessica Dowdy to start the second half instead of Abby Smith. And for the Cougars, they also have made a change. Halem Adel is in there instead of number 3, Stevens. Cougars ball, drive off the left side, and bucket for Adel.
And she's saying, Coach, you should have started me. I scored right away.
And it's a double-digit lead right now. 11 points, 43-32. Post feed in, last touched by the Cougars. It'll stay with the Saints. Fingertip there by Latia Reeves to deflect it. Come out near midcourt, and they're going to call a held ball. Good anticipation there by number 23, Braylon Snipes. She saw the ball coming over her shoulder and just immediately reached up to try to grab it and got a couple of fingers on the ball, and one of the Saints did as well, and it's a held ball. Ball stays with the Saints, but they lose the possession arrow. Reddick needs help. Marley Smith comes and gets it. Back to Reddick. She'll drive from right to left and get cut off. Out on the wing to McClendon. And the triple, as the horn expires, is good. And Coach Moe took a timeout. Ball goes through the hoop. Cuts the lead from 11 to 8, and the Saints take a quick timeout. 9:10 to go here in the third quarter. And clearly, Coach has seen something that he wants to try to correct. That first possession resulted in a quick bucket for Halem Adel, who got the start here in the second half instead of Jasmine Ray Stevens. See what the adjustment is.
It's a surprising timeout.
Yeah, really early to use one. Let's see if the Saints go to something different.
And down to 2 timeouts for the rest of the game.
Have to assume it's going to be some sort of a defensive change. Could you go to zone? Could you start to press? I doubt the press, quite honestly, because Columbus State moves the ball so quickly. They've got good foot speed, good guard play. They don't shoot the ball incredibly well from the three-point area. Just 27% as a team, so we might see some zone, maybe.
The zone would be a good, might be a good move. You know, in the first half, they shot 41% of their shots were threes, which is above their average. So you go to a zone and maybe you force them to keep pecking away.
Got it.
And play the statistics that they're not all going to drop.
Got to take care of Destiny McClendon.
2 full court press or 3/4 court press. Let's see what happens here.
McClendon plays with 3 fouls. She's the only player in any sort of foul trouble, so we'll have to take care of her.
And
they beat the trap, kick it left-hand side for an open 3. And it's good, just that fast. Braylon Snipes knocks it down. So much for they're not shooting well from 3 for the season. They were shooting good on that possession. Reddick tries to go inside to Smith. Ball's loose on the floor and picked up by Rawls. Goes back and then pumps it front court quickly. And the runner is good by Snipes. Back to a 13-point deficit now. Here's Reddick. Backs in, gets deep.
I don't think Reddick realized how open she was for a minute there.
Here's McClendon, a spin to the paint and denied. Back to Reddick, who drives and spins herself. Gets denied again, throws it into Marley Smith. Turnaround, off the mark, no good. Rebound to the Cougars. They'll push quickly the other way. Gaucher with it. Trails it back for Rawls for a long 3 ball, off the mark, but the Cougars rebound. Saints just don't appear to be very aggressive going after the rebounds. Good box out, but nobody went and chased the basketball.
Like Flagler switched to a 1-2-2 zone.
Here's Rawls, steps through the zone for a runner, and it's good as the horn expires. Olana Rawls converts, and all of a sudden it's a 15-point game.
And I think Coach Mo heard you because Carly Grimm's ready to come back in the game. And
Reddick gets deep, shoots a turnaround. Left it short, but because she got fouled.
got hit on the arm.
Got it right across the forearm. And she'll shoot a couple.
Fouls on number 4, Kristen Gaucher.
Gaucher gets the foul. Reddick will be the free throw shooter.
Saints is number 15, Sayla Reddick. She'll shoot 2.
And Carly Grimm, the Saints' leading rebounder, comes back in the game.
Reddick knocks home the first. And she got them both. Sayla has really struggled from the free throw line at 44% on the season, but buries both of them that time. Saints are going to set up in the zone here. 2-3 zone. Post feed in and kick out. Three-point attempt is on the way. Off the mark. Rebound being wrestled for inside and finally ends up with the Saints. Grimm drops it off for McClendon. Back to Reddick, coming cross court from left to right. Cut off and needs a helper, and they say she traveled. She was kind of getting pushed by the defender a little bit, but she did pick up her pivot foot. Reddick has done that a couple times here where she's driven hard and then stopped and gotten tied up. 6:34 to go, third quarter, 50-37. It's been all Cougars over the last portion of the second quarter and the early part of the third. Corner three, right side. Off the mark, Carly Grimm rebounds.
His own strategies paid off the last couple trips.
Here comes Reddick. Gets deep and kicks. There's an open three on the way. Off the mark, unlucky for the Saints. Rebound comes to Reeves. She'll push quickly ahead of the pack. Nice pass, good
what
finish.
A pass.
Susanna Rudenko.
On the run, a 25-foot bounce pass right on the money.
Reddick in the midcourt. Aggressive defense by the Cougars. She's going to attack in. Kick out to McCormick, who drives, floats, and too strong. McClendon rebounds, puts it back up, no good, but a foul. Maybe on number 3, Stevens. Let's see. Nope, they're going to give it to Lataya Reeves.
Fouls on number 11, Lataya Reeves. Making her way to the foul line for the Saints is number 2, Destiny McClendon.
McClendon will shoot a couple. And wholesale substitutions here for Columbus State. 5 out and 5 in. Yep. 4 out and 6 in. You can't do that. There we go. Only 5
well, their
allowed.
Defense is hard enough as it is.
Yeah, only 5 at a time.
She'll shoot 2.
Free throw from McClendon is good. Saints are going to need every point to try to cut into this double-digit deficit. Left it short. Rebound to Adel. She'll push front court. Saints will get set in their defense. Stay in the 2-3 zone. Post feed inside. Runner no good. Rebound Grimm. Good defense without fouling. Here's McClendon pushing. Aspen Weeks trails it. Right side McCormick. Drive. Elbow jumper. Perfect. All right, so far so good on the zone. Let's stick in it and see if we can cut into this. It's back to a 12-point game. Long three. Off the mark. Good rebound, Aspen Weeks. Off to McClendon. Saints looking to dictate some tempo here. McClendon across the timeline for Weeks. Weeks to drive with a screen from Grimm. Back to Dowdy. With Grimm screen. McClendon baseline. Pull up. Unlucky. Rebound. Grimm. Back up. Off the mark. Rebound picked up by Rawls. Here come the Cougars. 5-on-3 if they can hustle. Gaucher with a nice spin in the paint and draws the foul on Sherelle McCormick. The second personal on McCormick. And they'll take us to our under 5 media timeout. 4:21 to go here, third quarter. 52-40. It's Cougars by 12 right now. The latter portion of the second quarter and the majority of the third have all favored Columbus State. I think it was 34-32. I know it was a 2-point game at one point. And then it was quickly a 9-point game. It was a 7-0 run from down 2 to down 9, and then went to the locker room, and 9 has grown to as many as 15. And it's been double figures for most of the second half. In the third quarter, Columbus State is 5 out of 10 for 50%, where the Saints are just 2 out of 7. It's 11-8 Columbus State here in the third quarter. The 9-point game has grown to 12. Saints don't need to get all 12 back by the end of this quarter, but it'd be nice to get it down to, maybe cut it in half to about 6 going to the fourth. That seems reasonable.
Get back in contact with them.
Foul line left side.
And give Coach Mo Smith's team some credit here. They've lost 4 games in a row, but they don't seem discouraged at all. They're playing hard. They're moving the ball. They're playing defense. They're rebounding.
Couple free throws good. Take it back to a 14-point game. Saints backcourt is going to be the key to success against this Columbus State crew. Whether it's Weeks, McClendon, McCormick, Dowdy, and others. And there's Dowdy for a bucket off the left side.
Great backdoor cut by Jessica Dowdy.
Poked away, a steal. Marley Smith ends up with it. Looking for a helper. She's going to go right down the paint, kick it off here to McCormick. Float it off the window. Oh, left it just short. Tried to avoid the contact, and by kind of jumping to the left instead of going straight in, left it short.
It's a shot Sherelle normally would make.
Rebound picked up by the Saints on a missed 3 ball. Very quick on the trigger that time for Columbus State. That's what the Saints are hoping to see. Here's Reddick. There's an open look from Aspen Weeks. And she knocks down the triple. Weeks 17 of 62 on the season for 27%, but buries that one. There's a drive in, and a foul going to be called on the Saints. I think they're going to get Selah Reddick on that one.
Fouls on number 15, Selah Reddick.
It's one of the few times Columbus has tried to penetrate that zone with a dribble from the wing.
2 shots coming for the Cougars. That's Kristen Gaucher. At the free throw line a few minutes ago. Made them both last time, made them both this time. Back to double figures. 56-45, it's an 11-point game. Oh, an errant pass by Dowdy, picked off there by Halem Adel. Here come the Cougars. Adel steals it, drives it, kicks it. Gets an offensive rebound, kicks it again. Rawls missed the three. This time it's a drive off the left side from Snipes, who is well defended. Deflection on the lob and ends up back in the hands of the Cougars, and the three is good.
Three-pointers good by number 24,
Oh, Alana Rawls threw an entry pass that was deflected by two Saints. It was like a hot potato. Nobody wanted to grab it. Everybody just wanted to deflect the basketball, it seemed like. And the ball bounced around and caromed out right into the hands of Rawls, who said, "Thank you very much. I'll shoot the three." And just that fast, from 9 to 11 on the free throws, from 11 to 14 on the triple, and it's 59 to 45. Columbus State by 14 points over the Saints with 2:40 to go, third quarter.
You know, it's something completely different. Yesterday I was watching an NBA game, and Hubie Brown broadcast his last game. And Hubie has like a 50-year career in the NBA. It's just absolutely amazing. Every time I watched him, I learned something. Just the opposite of what our viewers would pick up from me. But what always amazed me about Hubie's career was that he never cussed on the TV, on the air. I've seen him at coaching clinics through the years. I saw him coach when he was a head coach. Every other word would have been bleeped. So congratulations to Hubie Brown on a tremendous career and not getting ejected by the FCC.
Put on that headset and dial down the language. Saints miss an offensive opportunity. Here come the Cougars quickly the other way. Runner in is poked away, and last touch by the Saints. That was Kristen Gaucher who attacked on the drive. Saints will get Dowdy out for Emerson Coots. The freshman from Colorado Springs checks in. Three-point attempt, no good by the Cougars. Rebound to Aspen Weeks. Weeks picks up her dribble, goes to Marley Smith. Kicks to Coots. Open look for Emerson. Off the heel, no good. Rebound to the Cougars. Driving front court. 3-on-2 if they can hurry. Take it in, offensive foul. A little bit out of control there, taking the ball coast to coast inside. That was Latia Reeves, and the Saints draw the charge and get the ball on the turnover.
And I tell you, as a player, there's not much more scarier sight than when you've planted your feet to take a charge, and that person is coming at you with a full head of steam.
Full head of steam, take it, go to the floor and get the ball back for your club. Final 90 seconds of the third quarter. Saints need to get it across the timeline. They barely do. Get it to McClendon, bounce pass into the corner to Reddick. Now to Marley Smith. Gets it poked away. Stolen away by the Cougars. Williams feeds it and finishes to Rudenko. Rudenko finishes that time a little more challenging than the previous finish that she had on a really nice bounce pass that went 25 plus feet. Runner at the other end, no good for the Saints, but a foul is called. Carly Grimm's going to get in there for Marley Smith.
Making her way to the foul line for the
Stevens back for the Cougars, who replaces Adel.
She'll shoot two.
And McClendon will shoot a couple.
Let's see if Flagler tries to do the three-quarter court trap again here.
Free throw off the mark for Destiny McClendon.
Or if they settle back in their zone.
It's 1:03 to go third quarter. Saints are down 16. McClendon does make 1 out of 2. McCormick will come in for Reddick.
And Flagler drops back. That's a good move. Columbus is deceptively fast.
Going to drop into the zone. Turnaround jumper from Stevens. No good. Rebound Saints. McClendon's got it in transition. McCormick to her right. Dribbles through a double team and picks up a foul. That's going to be 2 shots. That's 5 fouls on the Cougars. So McClendon hasn't done well today, only 2 out of 4 from the free throw line, but she's 90% on the year.
Aaliyah Farrell. Destiny at the foul line for the Saints.
And that shot is good. One more coming. Points with no time coming off the clock is what the Saints need. And they get 2 quick ones there from the free throw line. 46 seconds to go, third quarter, 61-48. 13-point deficit as the Saints set up in their zone. A long 3 ball is off the mark, but a long rebound picked up by the Cougars.
The longer the shot, the longer the rebound. Flagler's putting people in the paint. It's just the ball is bouncing out farther than where they're located.
Another rebound for the Saints and another foul committed by the Cougars. We'll send Destiny McClendon back to the free throw line. And again, try to put points on the board with no time coming off the clock. Foul was committed by Susana Rudenko. She was frustrated at missing that about 3-foot runner off the right side and committed a foul on the rebound. That will allow Destiny McClendon to get 2 more shots.
She's got a dozen already today.
First is good. She's got a boat. And we got a sub at the table. I think they're going to get McClendon out. She's playing with 3 fouls. Can't afford to pick up a 4th here in the final 20 seconds. Good move there by Coach. We'll get Jessica Dowdy in there for what we think will be the final possession here with 20.2. Cougars will let the ball roll a long way. They'll pick it up 3/4 court. Clock starts when you touch it. Off right side to Stevens. Back up high into the corner. 3 ball. Very short. Rebound picked up and put right back in. Alana Rawls boxed out Dowdy, got the rebound and put it back in. Cougars got lucky on that one. The shot was an air ball. If that ball hits the rim, it caroms long, and who knows who gets the rebound. Instead, it was an air ball that basically landed right under the basket. Caught by Rawls almost like it was a lob pass, and banked it home to take this game from what was an 11-point deficit back to 13. 63-50, Cougars by 13 over the Saints. Columbus State 63, Flagler 50. We're back in about 1 minute here on the Peach Belt Digital Network. Saints are going to need a big rally here to come back from 13 down as we go to the 4th. They'll stay in the zone. Cougars drive to the elbow and kick it out to Rawls. Cross-court pass to Stevens in the corner. Shot no good from about 20 feet. Rebound to the Saints. Reddick coming front court, guarded by Sophia Williams. To McClendon. Drops it out for Grimm from 18 feet. Off the heel, gets her own rebound. Then drives it. And banks it home. Carly Grimm. First basket of the game for Grimm. There's Williams front court to Rawls. Back over near side to Snipes. And Rawls for three. Off the heel of the rim, then hits the basket support. So that's a dead ball to the Saints. Zone has been pretty effective once the Saints went to it. Into McClendon. The deficit is 11. They could take it to single digits with a basket here. Here's Reddick for McCormick. Now Grimm. Now McClendon. Three ball. Off the mark. In and out. And we're going to have a hold. A box out hold foul called against Columbus State. Who's it on? It's on Reeves, and that's her fourth. That's noteworthy.
And there she goes.
With 21 points, she'll check out of the game. Saints having a little trouble getting the ball inbounds, but finally find Carly Grimm. Back out to McCormick. She's going to drive the right side. Float it up and stick it in the foul. Sherelle McCormick. Basket and one opportunity. Makes it a 9-point game, pending one more free throw.
Grimm is not a three-point threat, so her defender can sag off in the lane. But Sherelle went right at her. Got the basket.
And converts. So it's an 8-point game, closest the Saints have been in a while. They were down 16 what seems like moments ago. Rawls, back this way, Williams. Now Snipes. And that is a three-point attempt that's good for Braylon Snipes. McClendon coast to coast. Runner, blocked. Rebound Grimm. Back up, too strong. Rebound. Last touched by, they'll say the Cougars. Stay with the Saints. Partial reset to 20. Saints ball down 11. Corner to McClendon, back to McCormick. Gonna drive, float it, and stick it home off the window. And a timeout taken by Coach Moe. He's only got one left according to the scoreboard. I know he took an early one here in the second half, took another one there, and he can only carry three over. So, yeah, he's down to one. 7:58 to play. It's back to a 9-point game, back to single digits.
Rudenko bodied up on that drive. She could have been called for a foul.
Oh, very easily could have been another basket and one opportunity for Sherelle.
She kept her arms in the air, which is probably what saved her. But
Cougars for the day are shooting 29% from three, which is right around their season average. They're at 27.5%. 9 out of 31 so far today. Saints are going to need them to continue to struggle from distance as they've gone to the 2-3 zone, and it's been pretty effective overall. They did hit a three-pointer on that last possession. With 1:01 to go in the third quarter, the Saints were down 16. Now 2 minutes into the fourth quarter, the lead is only 9. So that's a pretty quick transition in about 3 minutes of basketball time.
Flagler switches to a 1-3-1. The corners will be open if Columbus can swing the ball.
Rudenko had it in the corner. They play 4 out, 1 in, 1 at the high post. Here's a drive and kick to the left side. Drive it in by Snipes and got past the defender and scored it inside.
Number 23, Braylon Snipes.
Back to double figures. Cougars by 11. Sophia Williams, good on-ball defense against Sayla Reddick. Reddick drives in, gets cut off by a helper. Pull-up jumper is off the mark, but Reddick rebounds. Looking to kick it. She does to Aspen Weeks. Back to Reddick. She'll drive off the Grimm screen. Kick to McClendon for three. And she'll bank it home. Not sure that's what she was looking to do, but it works. And it's back to an 8-point game, 68-60. Rawls for Williams. Snipes. Triple is no good, but the Saints can't control the rebound. Back to Snipes again. Working against McClendon. Three-point attempt off the mark. Grimm tips it to Reddick. Here come the Saints with the basketball down 8. Reddick needs help. Picks up her dribble, goes into Weeks. Weeks will catch, pivot, lean, and get it blocked, but it's blocked out of bounds by Adel. It'll stay with the Saints with 18 on the shot clock. Saints can get right back in this ball game here. Reddick out for Emerson Coots. Freshman's played quite a few minutes today. Into Grimm. Back to Coots. Shot clock on 15. McCormick a drive, and I thought she got fouled. No whistle. Here come the Cougars. 3-on-2 fast break. Snipes. Floater off the window and good.
Layup is good by number 23, Breland Snipes.
From 8, could have been 6. Instead, it's up to 10 once again. McCormick. Turnaround, good.
Nice touch on that jump shot, Sherelle McCormick.
It's been McCormick and McClendon doing most of the damage today for the Saints. Back to an 8-point game. Adel, floater, no good. Rebound Grimm. Gets it off here to Coots. It's 3-on-2 if they can hustle. Coots, coast to coast runner. Too strong, no good. Baseball ahead of the pass, or ahead of the pack. Inside, shot no good. Rebound, stick back no good, but a foul. Bit of a wild shot there by Rudenko, but the Saints couldn't control the rebound. They give up a stick back opportunity to Braylon Snipes, and shoots foul. Pace is up and down the court here in the second half.
The official may have called that foul because they needed to take a breather.
Snipes free throw, in and out, no good. 73% free throw shooter for Braylon Snipes.
Saints are within striking distance.
Gets the friendly roll on that one. Back to a 9-point game. Into McClendon, she'll push. She's got a little bit of space. Down the left side. And they're going to get a blocking foul called on Rawls.
Rawls is arguing that she held her position, but she was way too low.
Fouls on number 24, Alana Rawls.
That'll send Destiny McClendon back to the free throw line. She's got 17 on the day. Make it 18. One more coming for McClendon. It's an 8-point game with 5:20 to play. And now it's 7.
Big trip for the Saints.
Reeves for Williams, over to the corner. Space on the right side for a runner that's no good. Grimm rebounds. Gets it off for Coots. Coots finds Reddick. Here come the Saints, down 7 with the basketball. Screen from Grimm. Back the other way. Reddick's going to drive. Look to kick. Corner to Weeks. She'll drive and kick it back to Reddick. Reddick will spin, and offensive foul is the call. She drove hard and pivoted, but drove a shoulder into one of the Cougars. And it's a turnover on an offensive foul. Big opportunity there for the Saints. Goes by the wayside. Still down 7. Deflection and ball ends up last touched by Weeks in the corner, out of bounds.
3 Saints got a hold of it, at least got a hand on it, but couldn't get a hold of it.
Into Rawls against Weeks. Goes up, under, and kicks. Out for a 3 ball. Off the mark, no good. Rebound picked up by Williams. Goes cross court. Runner, good from Lataya Reeves. McClendon's got it right side. She's going to push front court. Loses the handle briefly, but finds the loose ball. Now needs a helper. And timeout taken by Coach Moe to save the possession. That's the final timeout for the Saints. This will also take us to our under 5 media timeout. 4:10 to go in the ball game. It's 73-64. The Saints have expended a lot of energy trying to rally from down 16. They've got it to as little as 7, but haven't been able to get over that hump into a 2-possession game as of yet. They have the ball, down 9 with 4:10 to go. We'll take a break here on the Peach Belt Digital Network. Saints have no timeouts left. In the final 4:10, every possession is going to be critical. 21 seconds on the shot clock. Great ball pressure here by the Cougars once again. Reddick for McClendon. Cross court McCormick. Back to McClendon. Going to drive off the right side. Back out to Grimm. Grimm from 19 feet. In and out, no good. And a rebounding foul, I believe, going to go on 23 Snipes. Definitely going on the Cougars. And it is on Snipes. Remember, their leading scorer, Reeves, plays with 4 personals. Saints go to the bench. Coots out for Aspen Weeks. McCormick looks to trigger. Can't find anybody. Comes out to Weeks. Right side, McClendon. Uses the Grimm screen. Kicks. Open look from 3. From McCormick. It's good. From 9 to 6, there's that 2-possession game. 73-67. Saints will set up in that zone. Up high, Reeves. Williams drive, loses it, and a reach-in foul on the Saints. It'll be 2 shots here for Sophia Williams. Williams, the West Coast player from San Jose we spoke of earlier. 71% on the year from the free throw line. First is good. One more coming. Too strong that time. Rebound picked up by the Cougars. And before there was a foul or a held ball or whatever was going to happen, a timeout from the bench taken by Matt Hauser. Critical offensive rebound there, picked up by Rudenko. Free throw hit the back of the rim, caromed very high in the air. And Rudenko able to sneak in there and get it away. The Saints needed that one. down 7 with the basketball. Can become a 5 or maybe a 4-point game just that fast. Instead, the ball stays with the Cougars. And again, the Saints have no timeouts left. Cougars have it on the baseline, partial reset of 20. Into Snipes. Kick it out to Rudenko. She looks to drive against Marley Smith. Spins, floats, finishes. Susanna Rudenko. Big offensive rebound and then the big bucket. That's a 9-point game. A 3-point trip down the floor. McClendon off the left side. Got the Grimm screen. Step back from 18 feet. In and out. Rebound Marley Smith. Back up, no good. Tried to draw a foul, didn't get it. Williams will bring it across the timeline. Cougars by 9. They'll be patient. Time to use the clock.
Flagler comes out of the zone, back to man-to-man.
Here's Rudenko. Back out to Snipes. Long 3 ball is well off the mark. Rebounded by Reddick. She's harassed in the backcourt. Splits 2 defenders. Keeps right on going. Kicks to the corner to McClendon. Can't get space for the 3. She'll have to dribble and find some room. Comes from left to right. Kicks to Marley Smith. Her 3 is off the mark. Williams rebounds. Races it to midcourt. And then patiently walks it across. Under 2 minutes. Saints down 9. Skip pass far side to Snipes. Thinks about a 3 but passes it up to be more patient. Coach Hauser tells him to work the ball until you get a layup, and they get the layup, and it's back to double figures. 78-67. Reddick coast to coast inside. Floats, can't finish. Grimm rebounds. Back up, does finish. 75 seconds to play here in St. Augustine, but it's still a 9-point deficit. Saints almost have to commit a foul here. A drive inside for a runner, that's good by Rudenko. And that'll probably do it. Back to double figures with less than a minute. Reddick loses the handle briefly and held ball. Possession arrow favors the Saints with 49.5. It's 80-69. Saints ball on the baseline.
It's not for lack of effort by Flagler. These players played hard.
Try to go to Marley Smith, can't do it. Picked off. Here comes Rudenko the other way. Bounce pass, Reeves, runner, good. Rudenko did a really nice job taking that ball the length of the floor, driving it in, and then dropping right at the last minute to put the final nail in the coffin for the Saints. 3-pointer from McClendon is off the mark, and Weeks over the back commits a foul. And this one will end up being more than likely into double figures because of these late points that have been allowed. But moments ago, this was a 6-point game with about 3 minutes to go, and the Saints couldn't quite get over the hump down the stretch. That foul was a non-shooting foul, and only the Saints' 4th. So with the shot clock turned off, Cougars can hold it and run out the clock here. 82-69 is the score, and that likely will be the final as the Saints are not going to foul. And Reeves can dribble it out here near the midcourt area. Final 5 seconds here in St. Augustine. Cougars 82, Saints 69. Leading scorer for both teams is going to be Reeves for the Cougars. She finishes with 27. Snipes had 15, Rawls had 14, Rudenko had 10. 4 in double figures for the Cougars. Gaucher chipped in 4, Adel chipped in 4, Williams had 5, and Farrell had 3. For the Saints, it was Mack and Mack once again. McClendon with 19, McCormick with 19, the only 2 in double figures for the Saints. Marley Smith finished with 9, Aspen Weeks had 7, Jessica Dowdy had 7, Carly Grimm and Sayla Reddick had 4 apiece. Reddick also finished with 10 rebounds for the Saints and 5 assists to lead the team in both of those categories. But the Saints couldn't quite get over the hump. They fall here 82-69 to the Cougars. A 13-point loss here. Saints go 1 for their last 6 to finish out the game, while the Cougars go 5 for their last 6. And that's how the 6-point game went back up to 13. But a good battle, like you said, Ivan, not for lack of effort. I think the Saints just ran out of gas, playing really, really hard and a little bit limited in terms of their numbers. Not sure what happened to Abby Smith. I noticed she went to the locker room before the first half ended and was very late coming out of the locker room. She sat on the bench in most of the second half. She actually came out after the game had restarted, but did not play in the second half at all after starting the basketball game. And Saints just couldn't keep up with the pace, it seemed like, of Columbus State today.
Columbus was, as I said before, deceivingly fast. They pushed the ball, and then, coming into the game, I looked at all of the turnovers they forced, and I thought, well, they must press, they must trap, but really they just kind of up-tempo the team, up-tempo the opponents, and let the opponents beat themselves. A lot of unforced errors, a lot of little mistakes, a lot of close calls where a ball is loose and it goes the other way, and they're very quick to exploit any kind of missed opportunity that the Saints had.
Yeah, you're right. They played up tempo, and they force you to play faster than you want to. But
Yes.
I was also expecting a full court press. When you look at their numbers again, we talked about it in the first half. They have forced their opponents to commit 531 turnovers on the year. By comparison, they've committed 273. So almost double.
They take care of the ball, play fast, and dare you to do the same.
Yeah, the Saints have committed 318 turnovers on the season as a comparison. The Saints have forced 377 turnovers, but 531 forced turnovers by Columbus State. That's how they do it. How about this? Field goal percentage, they are 38% on the year. Their opponents are 40. 3-point percentage, they are 27. Their opponents are 32. So their opponents are shooting better from the field, better from 3, but they have taken 266 shots more than their opponents have because of those 531 turnovers that they force. So even though they don't shoot the ball incredibly well, when you get 266 more shots through 20 games, that's 13 shots a game more than your opponent. Even if you make 3 out of 13, you're going to get 6, 7, maybe even 9 points a game more than your opponent if you make a couple threes. And that's what happened today. They didn't shoot the ball incredibly well, but they dictated the tempo by their defense. And they got 78 shots, and the Saints got 70. And there's a difference. 8 more shots. And if you make a couple, which they did, you end up winning the basketball game. They improved to 15-6. 15 wins against 6 losses and 9-3 in the Peach Belt, while the Saints, on the other hand, they fall for the 5th consecutive game. 8-13 overall, and in the conference now, 4-8. So a chance to right the ship later this week. We play on Wednesday, so quick memory. Come back Wednesday night, play at home. Come back Saturday, play at home again. and hope the Saints can get back to their winning ways here. We're going to take a little break. We got about 20 minutes until the men's game will start. It's Columbus State and Flagler, part 2 between the Cougars and the Saints. From my broadcast partner, Ivan Kelly, I'm John Phillips. We'll see you in about 20 minutes for the men against Columbus State here on the Peach Belt Digital Network.